Hello, hi, how are you doing? It's me, it's Jarida. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello. There's never a way to do a cool intro, so let's just get into it basically. It's almost the end of December and I thought this is the best time of the year to reflect. Obviously, I reflect throughout the year anyways because I journal a lot, I do weekly to-do lists, yada yada yada. Not to say that I'm all the way together, but I try to at least have some sort of focus in mind of what I'm trying to do with myself, because otherwise, yeah, usually what I do is, especially towards either the beginning or the end of the year, I usually do like vision boards, or just kind of have like some sort of outline of the goals that I have moving forward. As you can tell by the title, today we're going to be doing all things vision board. Now I'm going to turn this around because this isn't really so much of it. Well, it is a vision board, but you know, like when you watch vision board videos, they look very pretty and well put together. When I did this, it was a rush thing. So I'm just warning you now, if you're looking for something pretty, this ain't it. But we'll try again. 2021, I want to try with a pretty vision board. But I just want to show you what has been on my vision board. Yeah, I know. It's a lot. But I just kind of want to talk through what is on my vision board. So I'll probably have a clip like on the side that I pre-record and just put on here somewhere on the screen. But yeah, let's just get into it. So I just wanted to kind of talk through the things on my vision board and explain them and where I'm at in terms of if I've reached the goal or if I'm still in that same headspace, mindset, all of those words. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was this picture, because it's the thing that stands out the most on my vision board and it's just a completely different vibe. And I can't remember where I saw this picture. I think I saw it on like either Tumblr or Pinterest, and I don't know why. You know when you see something and you're just like, ooh, this is a bit of me. Don't know why, but it just is. It reminds me of the feeling that I feel like I'm supposed to get when I go to like an art gallery or something, but I'm just not that type of babe. So I'm not going to pretend that I go to art galleries and look at pictures and be like, oh, I mean, maybe one day I'll become more refined. So to me, this picture represents femininity. And I think that's something that, especially this year, because before the picture was just there because it looked nice and it was a black girl and I could tell she has a fro and I just liked the vibe and the energy of it. But to me, looking at it now, what it represents to me in 2020 moving into 2021 is just femininity, and I think it's a beautiful thing. I don't think it necessarily means being girly, but I just think there's a certain type of feminine energy that I want to be able to exude. And even though I'm a little bit of a klutz and I'm a bit of a higgy-hagger type of person, I'm not the most graceful. I want to become more graceful. I feel like I can be graceful with the way I talk, but I want to be more graceful with the way I present myself and just be like well put together and have that feminine energy. And yeah, and the kind of people that exude feminine energy to me would be people like Mela Child, people like Yvonne Victoria. I just think they exude this like effortless energy, and there's a couple other influencers that give me that vibe. The vibe of just the way they carry themselves, the way they talk, the way, just all of that. And to me, I love this picture because it's so subtle how the energy exudes itself. She's just wearing a bandeau, I never know how to say that word. Let me not even pretend. One of those bandeau tops and like just a piece of material just over her legs. It just looks very feminine. I think feminine energy has an aura of a mixture, an aura of mystery, an aura of gracefulness, tenderness, vulnerability, cleanliness, purity. I don't know, just all of those things to me just give me feminine energy vibes. But yeah, next let's talk about other things. There's going to be a lot of things that I take off this vision board, so I'm really excited to do 2021's vision board because I've had a massive career change in the sense of, obviously, like, well, not obviously, because if you don't know, I did a law degree. I graduated in 2018 and I was very much doing the whole applying for firms, going to work experience, doing all these things, and in the back of my mind also doing YouTube and loving media and stuff like that. And I realized, especially this year, that I want to try and pursue that, which is just not an avenue I ever explored because I just didn't even know how to begin. or have any type of insight. So yeah, now I'm a TV intern within a PR and communications agency, so I'm very much working in a more media related role, entertainment industry, and I just feel at home and at ease. So I'm going to be ripping off a lot of these things in the vision board. Like, there's so many pieces of paper. I'm going to show in another clip, but like a lot of these post-its, these white pieces of paper, they're all about like law firms and stuff like that. So I'm going to take that off. One was about because it was kind of to help me with the application process, how to research things. But one thing I will say is never ever ever dismiss any part of your journey as irrelevant or a waste of time, because one thing that the whole process, especially the application process and going to events for law, taught me is the art of how to apply, the art of how to interview, the art of how to research a place of a business, like the art of understanding what a business's needs are, where you fit in, what value you can bring. Like, it taught me how to market myself, and it taught me how to research. And I think especially when you're going into places of work that you're trying to progress in, I think those are skills that are transferable and are lifelong skills that you should always take with you. So for me personally, even though my journey has changed, my career path has changed, I think everything that I've done up till now has informed where I am now, so I don't regret anything. But after that very emotional, long-winded speech, I'm ripping this stuff off. But actually, one thing I will say is, so talking more about the research aspect, just as a slight snippet, because I think this could actually really help someone. When researching somewhere and you want to work somewhere, I think one of the main things to look into to set, one of the main things that will set you apart is not just what you've done in your CV, but how you have researched and your knowledge and your insights on the company that you're trying to apply for, or the role you're trying to apply for, or the industry you're trying to be in, because it shows that you have the willingness and the capability to learn, and it's a great foundation to start from. The research and the tips that I've learned about researching when I was trying to apply for training contracts will carry me for the rest of my life. Like, I will use that, and I think that's what set me apart and got me the role that I have now. Because you should not sleep on researching when you're trying to apply for jobs at all. Doesn't matter what it is. Okay, next up. The next post-it is about voiceover. So basically, from the ending of last year to the beginning of this year, randomly when I was scrolling on Twitter, I saw something about voiceover industry and this company called 4C Voices, which is created by a voiceover artist, a black female British voiceover artist called Sefa, and she's done voiceover for like Disney and just loads of other places that she's successful. So she started this company to try and get more, you know, more people into the voiceover industry. And so basically I did a session, actually I've done two sessions, I think I've done 3 sessions with her, and you know, she was really encouraging me, and then obviously lockdown stuff happened, so it's kind of been, I kind of haven't done much more this year other than I've created a website, which I'm going to link, where you can hear like my commercial voice reel and just see how I set up the website. I just use Squarespace, simple and easy, Bob's your uncle, just so that I can, if I have the website then I'm investing into paying for the website every month, like it'll push me to actually do something about voiceovers, because I think it's a hobby that I really want to pursue, and like at some point, you know, make a little change from. But ultimately I just love the process. Clearly I just love the sound of my own voice. Voiceovers, YouTube, podcasts. One of my goals for next year is definitely going to be to actually have an audition. I want to have at least 5 to 10 auditions next year and hopefully land some sort of voiceover work. Yeah, that would be really great. Because apparently I take direction well and I have great clarity, so hey. I think now that I have more of a routine and I don't have to think about applying for jobs, for example, there's a lot less extracurricular stress, because working and then applying for work at the same time, it's a lot. So I don't really want to have to deal with all of that, and I'm thankful and grateful that I don't have to think about that for a while. But yeah. So next on my mood board, vision board, all of that good stuff, whatever you want to call it, was, oh right, it was this quote, because I wanted to put more like quotes and like little, just little prompts on my vision board, because sometimes I think we get to, yeah, sorry, sometimes I think we get too attached to the goal and we don't realize that like the endurance and the discipline and all of those things required to meet the goal, sometimes you need a little bit of a push, because there's going to be days, weeks and months where you just can't be bothered anymore. And I think having a prompt on your vision board is good to look at, because sometimes you need past you or future you to talk to present you, so that you can get your act together, because it's very easy to get comfortable and to slip up and to forget and give up. So this one, or be frustrated. So this prompt quote says, the motorway gets congested, you can stay and wait forever, or detour into side roads, slip roads, and experience different views and experiences, and still join to the destination again. So basically what that was about was, this was more when I was pursuing law, and I had gone to an event, and one of the people that worked at Monzo, I can't remember what his role was, but what he said was so profound to me, because he was basically talking about the fact that a lot of the time, especially in our generation, there seems to be like this checklist of things to do and how to do it, and we get frustrated when we don't meet those goals, or we don't follow the conventional path, for example. But the unconventional path is just as valuable and just as important, and if you don't follow the conventional, that doesn't mean you failed or there's something wrong with you. Like, you have different experiences that can still lead you back to the same destination, for example. And that was really profound. And basically the analogy that he used was a motorway, and would you rather be stuck in a motorway and take forever, and just all you're experiencing is the queues and all you're experiencing is the frustration of being stuck, or would you rather detour, take the slip roads, see some new views, experiences? Obviously I don't remember the quote verbatim because I didn't record him saying it, but like that's what I took from it basically. So I think that's important, and that has really stayed with me. So I'm going to write this again, because I think that quote essentially is about perseverance, it's about resilience, it's about being open to change and being open-minded to new things, new people, new experiences, and not just thinking that just because you haven't taken the conventional route that there's something wrong with you or you're at a disadvantage. Or imposter syndrome. I rebuke imposter syndrome. I rebuke it, because too many people are comfortable saying I have imposter syndrome. You are not an imposter in Jesus' name. Period. So the next little prompt was check there's enough around you to support what you're trying to do. Now this is another quote that when I went to an event somebody said by the name of Solomon, and I thought that was so profound, because people need people, and not only people need people, people need resources, people need opportunities, people need experience, people need insight, people need mentoring, people need guidance, people need investment, people need a lot of things to get to where they're trying to get to. And check there's enough around you to support what you're trying to do. It's like, if you're trying to be a world-class athlete, for example, that quote to you would probably mean, check, if you're trying to be a world-class athlete, like, do you have other people trying to pursue the same goals as you? Do you have a team? Is your diet right? Is your activity level to that of an experienced athlete? Do you have people around you, things around you to encourage that goal? Next on the board is opportunities multiply as they are seized. That is another quote that I firmly believe in. Being able to say yes to things that you may not think you're qualified for, you may find challenging, you may be scared of, but as you multiply, as you say yes to things, your opportunities multiply, because you've done this, and now that you have the experience of this, or now you have the lesson from this, or now you have the insight from this, more things will open up to you because you've said yes. But when you say no, obviously within reason, some things you need to say no to because they could be dangerous for your health or for your mental well-being, which is part of your health. But anyways, yeah, that is a great one, and I feel like that is firmly embedded in me. I don't actually know where I got this from, but it's basically a piece of cash that says $1 million on it. And I'm not a particularly money motivated person, but I am a freedom, liberty motivated. I am very motivated by freedom and a sense of being able to do what you want to do and not have to hesitate. I'm very motivated by having the freedom to travel, the freedom to like experience new things. And I think at the end of the day, we're in a capitalist society, so money have to make, because money gives you access to a lot of things, and especially when you know how to spend your money wisely, share your money, grow your money, all of those things. I think next year at some point I want to focus more on like growing my money and building my sources of money, because yeah, it's needed. And I think before I was more saving for things I wanted to do, whether that was have a car or change my room. To me, that money just represents abundance. This I'm going to keep on my vision board. It is Velvet Rose and Oud. It's a Jo Malone fragrance that I smelt when I went there, and I know I want it, but I've never really purchased myself perfume other than like Zara perfumes, which are all quite inexpensive. They're mostly, I think they're all less than £20, I believe. But spending 50, 60, 70, 80 pound on perfume, I cannot justify yet. But I think as part of my whole stepping more into femininity vibe that I'm trying to get into, that's definitely an investment that I'm gonna make. But yeah, this was just in my vision board just in case, because sometimes I feel like you can speak things into existence. Maybe you'll get it as a present, but I haven't. Although I did get Black Opium YSL as a present for my birthday this year, so in a way, inadvertently, I still got a fragrance, and it's like inexpensive. When you put it on, you just, yeah. So I'm going to keep this on there because I do want a Jo Malone fragrance, and I love this one, but Jo Malone have a lot of lovely fragrances. So yeah, the next post-it, or the last post-it should I say, is the one that I think everybody should, if they're doing a vision board, if they're journaling, always update this. It may stay the same, but you'd be surprised. And this one is a why. During uni, and I think a little bit before uni, I had found out about TED Talks, and it's basically, I think most people, well, if you don't know what it is, it's basically a website where people hold a talk about a specific topic of conversation, or like an area of expertise or life experience, something like that. And they hold a talk, and they just do whatever they want with it. It's just a platform to speak basically and have your voice heard, and it's really interesting conversations and stuff that come up. So it could be like experts in a field, it could just be people that have experienced something, it could be celebrities, like whatever. And there was a specific talk that's actually quite famous by a guy called Simon Sinek, and it was about why, and how why is like everything you do, your why, the first thing that you should, I think it was about business, but in general your why is the most important thing. And my why is purpose, legacy, putting Uganda on the map even more, pave the way so that like my family has it easier, and the people around me have it easier, make my parents have a more comfortable life, liberation in every facet of my life, just having the freedom to do things and be who I want to be and be where I want to be and do what I want to do, and also empower people. The more specific your why is, the stronger it holds a place in your life, if that makes sense. I think I'm going to do a part 2 of this video because this video is very long, and it's going to be, the part 2 is basically just going to be me making a new vision board, and this one will actually be less higgy because this one was just slapped on a couple post-it notes. I really couldn't be bothered. I think that shows you my mindset coming into this year. But coming out of this year, my mindset is going to be much more refined, much more at ease, much more calm, not as much rushed. And yeah, I'm looking forward to doing this vision board with you guys, and hopefully I can give you some tips on how I come to the questions, or how I come to the ideas of what I'm going to put on my vision board. But yeah, if you like this kind of video, let me know, because I'm just trying to have more like conversations, transparency. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, let me know by, you know, liking, commenting, sharing, tweeting, Instagramming, Snapchatting, just whatever you're comfortable with doing, do that. Yeah, because I don't want to talk to myself. You know, it's been a long year of isolation and I'm sick of it. Since currently right now we're in tier 4, which, how can you create a tier, a new tier in a 3-tier system? Is this Hunger Games? But anyways, ciao. Let's not drag the government for filth in this video. That's for another day. Stay safe, stay in pursuit of all things great, and apart from that cheesy little byline, more content for your head top in the next video.